Hello and welcome to Clay Pigeon Raceway for round 5 of the Pass Me Fast Ultimate Karting Championship. Last time you joined us, we brought you the super final action from our opening 2 classes that were Micromax and Senior Rotax. And in this programme, we'll be bringing you all of the race action from our remaining 3 classes that are Honda GX200, Mini Inter and Junior Rotax. The circuit here in Dorset has already delivered some fantastic race action, and you can expect more of the same in this programme.
Riley Murrow's going to go the long way round and into second position. Beautiful from Murray as Jensen Chalk gets held up, and somehow Theo Bradshaw emerges in 4th position in front of the 3 of them. Phil Rawson trying to make the jump on Kai Hunter through turn 1, and there's problems in the pack as already we've got a couple of drivers tagging together. Got big pressure as up the inside. Isaac Lord goes for it. No, you don't. They're still side by side as they come up to buttons, and somehow McAndrew resists it. Kian Bernard comes through in the lead. Morrow drops onto the grass. Now he gets the dive at the inside. Contact! McAndrew spins! McAndrew spins! This is an amazing charge through. What a season from Kai Hunter. He is the champion in Senior Rotax. It's going to be a straight drag race, and it's so close to the line. It's Bernard by 1/1000th of a second.
Well, some super racing action there in our opening 2 classes, and we continue now then with Honda GX200, where once again, as we look at that championship table, it's Ryan White who's still leading the way, having been on the podium at every round. However, the super final at the last round was filled with Hollywood-style drama, and that man, Ryan White, found himself in the starring role. Having led for most of the race, he ultimately finished 3rd, with his teammate Ollie Thompson sweeping through in the final moments to take the win. We caught up with them both earlier to ask them about this blockbuster race.
Hi, I'm Ryan White. I'm a GX200, number 47. Last round out of winging, it was really hard. That last final, I was leading it for most of the race. Or the last few turns, I went a bit too wide, and Theo Bradshaw got his nose up my inside, and Ollie Thompson went with him. This weekend at Clay Pigeon, yeah, I'm feeling quite confident. Yesterday, I would say I was one of the fastest kids on track, with a few others, and I'm looking forward to the next few races. The secret to my success is probably LMM. My kart's always running well, and I always know exactly what I should be doing. I would be happy with a podium. I think if I come top 3 in all my races this weekend, then I think I could be still in the lead for the championship.
Hi, I'm Ollie Thompson, number 18 Honda Cadet. Last time at Wigan, I ended up winning. It was quite tough, but I did manage to get it. I'm not very familiar with Clay Pigeon. This is my first time here, so it's a really good track. Turn 1, that's quite a good overtaking zone. For like the S, the cane bit, LM's a really great team. My dad's my mechanic, Lenny's driver coaching. Come Sunday night, I'll be happy with a win, a podium, but yeah, it'll be good either way.
Well, best of luck to all the Honda Cadet youngsters as they line up on the start. Let's go and join your race commentator, Jake Sansom.
The Honda Cadets take centre stage here at Clay Pigeon. Theo Bradshaw and Ryan White on the front row of the grid from Ed Spain and Ashley Haase, from Ethan Cossins, Alfred Matthews and the rest as off we go to Billy's Blind. A good start here at Clay Pigeon. The drivers working their way forward. A good start from Ryan White. He has hit the front and he's already put some space between himself and Theo Bradshaw. Perfect start in Honda Cadet for Ryan White. From 2nd on the grid, he has already launched forward, and it's going to be very tricky to see if anybody can catch him with this sort of pace. Through hands here, but a spin! A spin in the middle of the pack there. That's unfortunate. I didn't quite see who that was, but a big disappointment, unfortunately, there on the first lap. As we're trying to see, as the drone tries to keep up with the back of the pack, it is actually a big problem in the middle of the pack there that we saw drivers spinning around, with Ryan White leading away. And Theo Bradshaw now in 2nd position, just trying to hunt his opponents down. And you can see already there's only 1.7 seconds from Bradshaw all the way back to Luke McGall in 10th position. And up the inside, nice move there from Cossins to get through on Matthews. So Ethan Cossins passes Alfred Matthews as they come down the straight up towards the hairpin. And it looks to me as though we're going to have a potential change for 3rd position. It's getting very heated at this point of the race, with Spain having a go at Haase. Haase doing his best to hold on to 3rd position for the time being, but Spain really looking for it. And there is the 71 of Cossins, having got past Matthews. Now he's going to try and take on Ed Spain, with Ashley Haase running in very solid third position at the moment. Driving through on the inside. It's some good overtakes at this point. Bradshaw was the initial fastest man on that last lap, but then Ethan Cossins came and took it away. And Cossins now dealing with Ashley Haase. Big dive up the inside there. I think that's a bit of a problem for Matthews, who loses another position. As the field tucks its way through the hairpin and back onto the home straight. They go flat out through Billy's blind. And trying their best to work the magic. This is going to be side by side. Brave stuff if you can hang on to this one. Thompson doing his best. Holding the inside line there, Charlie White. He's got a real dogfight in his hands as Branscombe deals there with Matthews, who gets punted essentially through the field down to the back end of that run. As they go through Hans Hairpin, he basically ends up getting dropped. He's now going to try and make his bid back on the inside of Branscombe, though. They're going to go side by side through Buttons. Branscombe will have that inside line, though. He protects nicely, but good to see Alfred Matthews getting back on with it. So much battling in Honda Cadet. They've done a terrific job, these boys, as they duel away for position. Through Billy's blind, flat out through the left, then through the right at the hairpin. This is a really enticing battle we've got going on here for 6th position downwards. Matthews has worked his way through to the middle of that gaggle of karts into 8th place. Bit of a chop up the inside as McGall had to think about Thompson, and I think Alfred Matthews thought he could get through on the inside line as well. So still they duel away. Ashley Haase is still protecting nicely in 3rd position, trying to keep Cossins back now as they have swapped positions again, but he drifts out a little bit wide. Is this going to be the chance for Haase to close up on Cossins as they fly down the main straight and flat out through Billy's blind? Haase just trying to hold on. Cossins has got the inside line, and that'll do. 3rd position for Ethan Cossins. Further back though, and that is that Matthews to the front of the few? It is! So Alfred Matthews has chipped away and worked himself into 6th position from what was 10th. Brilliant charge through from Alfred Matthews. And that just shows you in this sport, you do not give up, you do not surrender, because you never know what is going to happen around the next bend. Ryan White. Is that Ryan White behind Bradshaw now? It is. Bradshaw has got through into the lead. So we didn't see quite where he made the jump, but Theo Bradshaw has got through now on Ryan White. So the lead has changed. And Ryan White's now going to do everything he can to get back through on Theo Bradshaw. 5 minutes to go, and this is a game-on battle in Honda Cadet. Through the S's, big dive up the inside for 4th position, I think that was. So a nice move there from Haase to get back through on Spain. Comes off the turn, up through Buttons and up to top bend once again. Here comes the dive up the inside of the final turn. Is that going to work? So White knows he's got every chance to steal this one back. Cossins in P3, then Spain, Haase, McGall, Matthews, Thompson, Branscombe and Charlie White. Javalian Sansom has now lost out to Andrew Sutherland, who has been working hard to catch him. And then Nikita Roberts in front of Ayrton Rai and Leland McNeish. So all 15 drivers that started this race are still circulating. Still having a very exciting race battle. The leaders very much pushing each other now. And we've got Bradshaw and White about to close up on Leland McNeish to put a lap on him for the first time. So the blue flag is out for Leland McNeish. 25 seconds on the clock. Now or never. Think about this one, boys. Theo's got to be very tactical. Ryan White can use the back marker to his advantage. They're both going to zip through without it causing an issue. Well done to Leland McNeish. Staying out of trouble, not getting in amongst the leaders. It's exactly what he needs to do. So Theo Bradshaw still protecting here from Ryan White, but we go down to 0. There is no more time to be run. And we're going to finish with 19 laps. We complete lap 18, and there is one kart in front of them. That's Ayrton Rai. So are they going to catch them on the final lap? And more importantly, can Ryan White find his way through on Theo Bradshaw? He is running out of opportunities. On the Clay Pigeon circuit, there are a few good overtaking spots for Honda Cadet. This is going to be the first of them. Hans Hairpin, is there going to be an opportunity? He will look, he will dive. He's not going to get a second opportunity. He's not going to take that invitation flat out. He is just going to make the opportunity come his way. And out of the way gets Ayrton Rai. Well done, Ayrton. But this is going to be a charge forward. Can Theo Bradshaw outfox Ryan White into the final turn? He's only going to have one more shot at it. It's going to be close. to the line, but it is going to be Ryan White. He takes the victory from Theo Bradshaw, storms in up the inside of Hans Hairpin and takes it. Brilliant run from Ethan Cossins. He will come through in third position in front of, to the line, it is going to be Ed Spain just in front of Ashley Harzay, and then Luke McGall ahead of Ollie Thompson, Ralphie Branscombe, Alfred Matthews and Charlie White, who gave us terrific entertainment throughout. In the championship fight, Ryan White is just a short way in front of Theo Bradshaw, with Ollie Thompson third in front of Ed Spain and Ashley Harzay. And then, of course, we have an exciting battle for Ralphie Branscombe, who leads the 900 table.
So, Ethan, huge congratulations. Your first UKC podium and a fastest lap. You've had a great race.
Yeah, I mean, it was challenging at the start because I dropped down to 6th because of my start, but managed to make my way back up to 3rd and basically started reeling in, but didn't have enough laps.
Great race, though. Always good in your class. Ahead of you, it was Theo Bradshaw and Ryan White doing the business backwards and forwards. Did you think you could, get in the mix of that at any point? Could you see what they were doing?
Well, I was hoping they would start fighting so I could catch up to them, but that didn't come.
And who's here with you today? Who would you like to thank?
My mum, my dad and my sister for supporting me, and my friend Trav for always being there for me.
So, Theo Bradshaw looking fantastic in the new race suit this weekend. You gave us a real thrill. It was great to watch, but it didn't quite play out for you this time. Talk us through your race.
Yeah, so I had a bad start because I don't think the cart got off the line that much, and I had to catch up a bit, and then I got in the lead, and then Ryan kept with me, and then Ryan just came on the hairpin on me.
Listen, that's the way it goes sometimes, but there was a lot of laps there where you were pushing him hard. You were, we could have thrown a blanket over the pair of you, and you did get past him. You were leading, so you were obviously driving well, and you've got the pace.
Yeah, I think I made a mistake not defending the hairpin, so I think I'll learn from that another day.
Ryan, huge congratulations. Another battle with yourself and Theo Bradshaw, and once again, or this time rather, you came out on top. Tell us about the race.
Yeah, it was really hard. I got a good start, got away on the first lap. I had quite a big gap, and then Theo Bradshaw started putting in the laps and slowly caught me. And then on the last lap, instead of passing him where I passed him on the superheat over there, so he had so much time to make up, I thought I'd pass him there, because then that should have delayed him for the next kink, and so I thought if I did that, then I'd win. And but yeah, it worked.
It worked perfectly, so it was great to watch from where we were on the sidelines there. The battle between yourself and Theo all season long has been fantastic. You must be filled with confidence as we go now towards the final round, Rowell in Cumbria, in August.
Yeah, I'm quite confident. Last time I was there, I did really well, and so I hope I can extend my lead or at least stay where I am.
Our attention now turns to Mini Inter, where it was Jacob Ashcroft who took the win after Charlie Wolfett unfortunately failed post-race scrutineering, much to his disappointment, having driven well all weekend. Behind them was Dan Minto and Thomas Hill of Zipcart, who posted his most consistent results of the season. We caught up with both of those youngsters earlier to see how they think their weekends might play out in this competitive class.
Hi, I'm Thomas Hill. I race for Zipcart number 66 in Intermax. Yeah, well, at Wigan it was a really good round for us. A lot of points scored to end on getting third, which was a really good result for us. I've done UKC for 2 years, and yeah, I'm really happy how I've developed, especially with the help from Zip as well, making me that better driver. And I wasn't expecting as much as we got this year, but yeah, we're really happy. This weekend at Clay Pigeon, it's like one of my favourite tracks. It's very fast flowing in some corners. The chicane, it's a very fun corner. Hairpin's a good overtaking place. In the dry we feel really confident, but in the wet, we're struggling a little bit at the minute. We're only 1 point behind third, so hopefully we can get that gap closed and just get top 3 is what we're hoping for. I mean, we just need a good final to get that point to Daniel Minto. Hopefully we can have that clean battle, and at the end of Sunday night I'll be happy for a top 5 as it's our first time here in Inter.
My name is Jacob Ashcroft. I race in Rotax Mini Inter and I'm number 122. Wigan was a really good round for me. I was finishing second in all the races behind Charlie, but then unfortunately for Charlie, he got disqualified in the final due to technical. So I ended up getting the win. I think Charlie Wolfett's a very good driver and he's got loads of speed to keep up with me. And we're just gonna, see how it goes this weekend at Clay Pigeon. I've been to Clay Pigeon before, but I haven't been here for about 2 years, so I'm trying to get the track back into my head, and when I do, I can be quite fast around here. The practice yesterday went good. I was showing good speeds, I was overtaking well, And this morning in the wet, it was quite good, and I've been very quick. In wet conditions, you have to like turn the wheel quite aggressively if you can't get it to turn, but in the dry, you have to be really, really smooth to get the kart rotated and make it fast at the corners. I'll really be happy if the win to extend my lead, because I don't think we can make the final round in Rara, so I really need to get a good lead in the championship.
Well, let's see how they do. It's time for Mini Inter. Here's Jake.
So let's see if Jacob Ashcroft can finish his title campaign in style. A race early in the standings in the UKC. Off we go, and a great start up the inside as they fly through Billy's Blind and up to turn 2. This is going to be an interesting one as everybody mixes it through the first couple of corners. Everybody's just about kept it on the black stuff, and as they work their way through the S's and along the Sturmey Straight, it is a cracking start already in Mini Inter as up to the hairpin the driver's already battling away. You can see quite a few overtaking moves on this first lap as the deck is already fairly shuffled around. Everybody just trying to get themselves into a good position nice and early, but Jacob Ashcroft very determined to hold on to that advantage up at the front end of the field, but it's Charlie Wolfett that's made the jump. Up through comes Jacob Ashcroft though, trying to go wheel to wheel to make his way in a second position as he goes the long way round through past Thomas Hill. He's going to cut back through into the right-hander. Nicely done. Not a lot that Thomas Hill could do to stop him. He's going to try and come back at him through the S's, but no, the job is done, and Jacob Ashcroft back down to second position from the pole, but Charlie Wolfett is going to be a tough one to catch and pass, even for Jacob Ashcroft. They work their way through the hairpin and up to the horseshoe, in through the left-hander. The problem is that Wolfett is being a little bit too defensive for Ashcroft's liking, so he can't get away. If he was holding the racing line a bit more assertively, then they'd be able to stretch away, but he's being defensive, and that means that Charlie Very is actually going to close up on the pair of them. And he'll take Hill, Morris, Khan, Minto and Collinson along for the ride as we duel away out of the final turn. Side by side, a good run there between Ali and Grufferty. And it looks as though Clark is trying to make his bid on the inside line there as well. Here comes Thomas Hill, all over the back of Charlie Very again for third position. Got to be very careful at the back of his cart there that bumper doesn't get out of line. Up to Hans Hairpin, and look, Ashcroft is now getting a little bit impatient. He got balked there by Charlie Wolfett through to the hairpin. So Ashcroft actually needs to get ahead of Wolfett rather than go with him to stretch away. So this move needs to happen sooner rather than later, really. Ashcroft wants to finish strong here. And no doubt a first or a second position for Jacob Ashcroft seals the deal nice and early, but he wants to win from winning the race, not just from winning the championship on good points. He wants to showcase just how strong he has been all the way through the season. Around the far side, very close over the line. Oh, and a big opportunity, and he just got a little bit too hungry. So Benjamin Lawn saw an opportunity on the inside of Harris Alley, and unfortunately he was just a little bit too greedy on the inside line. You are now dueling over that final spot in the top 10. So an excellent result, still going good guns blazing, but Charlie Wolfett hanging on in front of Jacob Ashcroft. Thomas Hill, Charlie Very and Eva Morris all think they've got a crack at the silverware here. Getting hungry behind Wolfett, but he's letting Charlie Wolfett do all the hard work here. He's letting him just hold that inside line and cover, and now we've got an opportunity. Thomas Hill really working it on the back of Jacob Ashcroft, and that will be the hurry up that Ashcroft needed to start working to Wolfett. Here comes the move up the inside from Charlie Very. He gets through on Hill, and Ava Morris is going to get through, nearly past both of them, but that door's still going to be wide open. Oh, well held by Ava Morris round the outside. She made sure that Thomas Hill wasn't going to get back through in a fourth position. And now Charlie Very just gets a little bit cautious there in front of Ava Morris. Taps the helmet. Come on, let's work together. Let's go and catch the two leaders again. That was a proper get-out-of-jail-free card for Jacob Ashcroft. He almost lost second place. And now that's going to be the chance for Ava Morris on the inside of Very, who runs wide. And Ava Morris gets up into third position. Now, if she stays there, she will get on the podium in the super final. But Charlie Very is going to get back on the inside of her, moves up, and get into third position once again. Ava Morris trying to defend as Thomas Hill now dives in for the inside, gets up into fourth place. Great wheel-to-wheel stuff between these three for third position. But this is exactly what Wolfett didn't want. He wanted Very, Morris and Hill to get on the inside of Ashcroft and give him a little bit of a breathing break. But unfortunately, Ashcroft has been able to hold on as far as Charlie Wolfett is concerned. He's still got Jacob Ashcroft all over the back of him. Ashcroft really hunting him down here and being quite an irritant to Charlie Wolfett, like an angry wasp at a picnic. Just holding his nerve on the back bumper of Charlie Wolfett's cart. And in the Synergy versus LN struggle, Jacob Ashcroft is looking very threatening. He's got a minute and a half to go, but he's going to time it just right here. They can still fit in a few racing laps of this very quick circuit at Clay Pigeon. Down the stretch, through turn 1 up to Billy's blind. And this is where Ashcroft is going to try and make the slingshot maneuver. Absolutely textbook from Jacob Ashcroft. He timed it to perfection. He knew when he was going to size up the move on Charlie Wolfett. He can open up the taps. He protects into Hans' hairpin. And this could be a champion's drive here. In fantastic run. All he has to do is finish up where he is, and he does not have any worries heading to the season finale. He can just bring it home in fine style as they go up through top bend. And Charlie Wolfett has done everything he can to keep Jacob Ashcroft at bay. But look, there's now daylight between Ashcroft and Wolfett with less than a minute to go. This is where all of the hard work of Charlie Wolfett can be undone by Jacob Ashcroft. He's just been sat behind him all race, and now he can open up the taps. He's been looking after the brakes, he's been looking after the engine, he's been looking after the tyres, sat behind Charlie Wolfett. Now he can open up the taps in the last couple of tours around the circuit. And this is where Charlie Wolfett just has to watch as Jacob Ashcroft opens up that little bit of a gap. It's only about 4 or 5 kart lengths, but that is enough here at Clay Pigeon. You've got to stay close to the man in front. As here comes Ashcroft over the line, and there is just going to be enough time to make it 2 laps to go. Time runs down to 0 now as we go into lap 20. But it's all looking good for Jacob Ashcroft. Charlie Wolfett did everything he could. Charlie Very still there in 3rd position, having moved clear of Thomas Hill. And then Ava Morris in front of Hasnain Khan, who's done a terrific job to work his way in 6th position, thwarting all the oncomers, the likes of Dan Minto and Jack Collinson, who's thrown everything at him through the race. But it looks as though Hasnain Khan is going to hold on to that top 6 finish. But Ashcroft is going to seal the deal here in front of Charlie Wolfett, not just in the race, but in the Pass Me Fast Ultimate Karting Championship into mini class as well. Here we go, final lap. And Charlie Wolfett is going to have one final bid to close up and pass on Jacob Ashcroft. He's not going to give up. He's not going to relent. He will push very hard indeed to the closing stages. But he surely knows that he's really going to struggle here. Charlie Wolfett bangs in the fastest lap of the race there in the closing stages, a 37.4 to have one final crack at the whip. But Ashcroft has just got a little bit too much space made up between himself and Charlie Wolfett. This will not be taken away from the new champion in Mini Inter in UKC 2023. Jacob Ashcroft wins the race and the crown. Brilliant work. Charlie Wolfett pushing him all the way from Charlie Very, Thomas Hill and Ava Morris in P5 ahead of Hasnain Khan. Dan Minto in 7th in front of Jack Collinson, Oliver Meek and Alex Goodson. And that means that at this stage, Jacob Ashcroft has sealed the title in front of Charlie Wolfett from Thomas Hill, with Dan Minto in 4th and Charlie Very ahead of the absent Stanley Clark. What a great way to round out the racing here at Clay Pigeon.
Well, Charlie Very, how about that one, mate? 4th last time out, this time 3rd. You must be thrilled.
I'm really through because this is my first time in this class. I've no words, to be honest. I've no words.
You've got no words. Talk me through that race, because you found yourself in the mix, in the lead, sort of 4 or 5 drivers for most of it, and you finished 3rd. What was going on with those last few laps?
Well, at the start we tried getting away and trying to keep with Jacob and Charlie. They started to get away, so then Thomas went past us. Then we started squabbling, then I got past, and 32 came away. Then we started battling, I got past, and I just kept my head down going for them and tried to keep with them.
So, Charlie, talk me through that race. It was yourself and Jacob Ashcroft going for it once again. This time, he just got the better of you.
Yeah, we was in the lead for most of the race. Unfortunately, we got a little hit from behind from Jacob. He slipped down the inside. We couldn't catch up with him. We didn't have the pace like he did, but unfortunately, we came 2nd, but can't always win, can we?
So, Jacob, huge congratulations. Yourself and Charlie battling it out once again, and this time you came out on top, just getting him in the last few moments of that one. Talk me through your race.
Well, it was a very tough race, and Charlie getting through at the start didn't really help me, because when you defend here, it's quite easy to defend, and you just can't get past people that are defending really well, like Charlie was doing. And he made he was making a few mistakes every lap, well, a few laps, and then I was catching him, and I was right on him, and he made a little mistake in the first corner, and I was straight in.
Well, we finish our programme once again with Junior Rotax, where as we look at the championship table, it is Jack Hobson leading from Ollie Thompson and Freddie Ingram. And it was Ingram who took the win last time out in one of the most incredible Junior Rotax Super Finals that I think we've ever seen. Not far behind him, in third, was Lizzie Mentier, who not only took the fastest lap, but also the accolade of being crowned Driver of the Weekend. Surely both of these youngsters are brimming with confidence coming into this one.
My name is Lizzie Mentier and I race in Junior Rotax on number 50. Last time out at Wigan it was a very tough round as there's lots of competition and we haven't been to the track a lot. And luckily we managed to get third in the end, but it was quite a hard battle across the line. Clay Pigeon is my first time here in a junior. We were here last year for the same championship. 6-hour drive for us, so long time to get here. Clay Pigeon's a very abrasive track compared to Wigan, so it kills the tyres. So I'm just hoping I'm smoother on the wheel and can keep it on the track more if it's wet. The practice hasn't been bad. It's been tough because yesterday my mechanic was stuck in Amsterdam because he was just finishing his holiday, and so yesterday it was quite hard without him. But I think we've done all right. We've managed lots of setups and found the right one, we think. JDR helped me with multiple things. They helped me with setups, and Jack, obviously the owner, helps me with lots of stuff as he's very confident in setups and he manages to keep my head up there and make sure I don't fall down. And obviously my mechanic is very kind and caring and he helps me to get through the day. On Sunday I'm hoping for a win to get me high up in the championship as I'm 5th already, but I'm just hoping I can get high up and hopefully a top 5 would be alright.
My name's Freddie Ingram, I race Junior Rotax and my number's 69. Last time out at Wigan, we had a big crash in one of the practices and we ended up having to reframe. So into the heats, we were looking strong. He made up about 30 positions in the first heat, up into 5th, and then second and third heat, I won both of them. So we started pole for the super heat. From that, I got nose cone unfortunately, and I went off the track and I finished 10th. And then the final, I somehow, in a really big race, I managed to win. Clay Pigeon, I've never been here before, as many of the tracks other than Wilton Mill, but I'm still looking strong. Practice was good yesterday, so we have to see what we can do in the heats. Closest competitors are probably my teammates. They're all really fast around here. They've done a lot of practice, so I'm just trying to keep up with them throughout the practices. What I need to do is just beat them in the heats, try and get as many points as possible, and hopefully I come out victorious in every round.
Here we go then, it's set to be a belter. It's Junior Rotax with your race commentator, Jake Sansom.
Let's have some fireworks, Junior Rotax style. Front of the grid, it is Ollie Stevens and Archie Buttle, then Lizzie Mentier and Rhys Bailey. From Zach Turner, Alex Cull, Deacon Russell, Jack Hobson, Jarek Metters and Arthur Thacker. Plenty of drivers trying to charge their way through the field. Watch out for Finn Buck, Joe McMahon and Freddie Ingram. From the back of the grid, away we go at Clay Pigeon. And everybody is already going to try shuffling the deck up to the inside. Ollie Stevens is going to try and hold the lead. Lizzie Mentier getting held up in the middle of the gaggle. And it looks as though there's a massive shuffle of the deck in the middle of the pack. Several drivers forcing the issue as we ride on board with Cheesy. Charles Green as he watches Cam Nelson, our other cameraman, work his way through. Big dive up the inside from Cordingley. And he tussles his way out of the race. Several karts going off as there goes the treble 3 of Joe McMahon trying to find his corner. We go on board with Cam Nelson now as he charges after Jared Fox-Whiteley. Big action on the opening lap, several positions changing, and I think we're only really going to get a proper showcase of where this race is after about lap 3 when everything's settled down into a rhythm. But Ollie Stevens has got a perfect lead out front. As there is Lizzie Mentier trying to shake off Alex Cull. But it's Stevens, Turner, Buttle, Russell, Mentier, Cull, West, Thompson, Zane Quaker and Adam Wooden, who has charged up from 18th on the grid to P10. So a terrific start then for several, but for others, it's a bit of a tricky one. Harrison Whitcomb's worked his way forward, I noticed there as well, up to 21st position, having started 26th. We go back on board with Cam Nelson, and that's Jared Fox-Whiteley behind us now. So we've clearly made the overtaking move. And Jared Fox-Whiteley's going to be in the slipstream as they go up to Billy's blind. Flat out through turn 1, looking for the move on the inside line. Well, Cam Nelson wasn't born yesterday. Jared Fox-Whiteley's going to have to find another overtaking move, as further back, this is Charles Green. Cheesy himself is trying to work his way forward. And still several drivers trying to mix it through the field. As up the inside line, that's going to be a big tussle to try and get through on Russell. I think Cull was getting quite hungry there. but he's not been able to make the overtaking move stick. So as the field shuffles the deck once more, it is still very tricky up at the front end of the field. Nobody with a clear opportunity yet, as Cam Nelson is now charging after Adam Wooden. So they fly out through turn 1. Wooden getting a little bit sideways, but that's enough for Cam Nelson to still follow in position as we go on board with Charlie Green again. So what can Cheesy do to stretch out this advantage? He's already got another driver to battle with. That's the 40 of the Lando Norris driver in front of him. That's Dan Kilpatrick. So up in front, that is the 53 of Declan Russell, having got into second position. Look how far ahead of everybody Ollie Stevens has got. Ollie Stevens has just checked out. So now, we've still got a bit of an opportunity here for the 45 to move forward through the field. That's Eli Badan. So Eli Badan trying his best to move forward. So through they come again. Oh, and there's an off in the chicane there. I just saw someone going across the grass. That shows you how tricky it is. And a big slide up the inside from the 221. That's an incredible comeback already after a tricky start for Archie Buttle. So Buttle still mixing it up in the top 6, trying not to lose too much ground. Started from the front row of the grid, but certainly struggling to maintain that sort of pace. Junior Rotax, where do you look? Honestly, where do you look around this field? Because it is so tricky. Certainly not at Ollie Stevens, who is dominating at the moment. 3.7 seconds clear of Russell. Big dive up the inside. That was the 56 cutting through. That's Josh Whitcomb. Cheesy now getting his move and dives through on the inside of the 49 of Adam Wooden. So he's been working on that one. Come on, let's move forward, says the BKC driver. So they go through Hans Hairpin. Back into the gaggle once again. Up through the left at the horseshoe. And we ride on board with the man who's now behind Adam Wooden. That is the 44 of Cam Nelson. Up on the inside from Wooden. Commit into the chicane. Nicely done, and he's going to take Cam Nelson along for the ride. We go side by side with our other cameraman. So Cheesy lets him go. Back on board with Cam Nelson. The 77 of Charles Green. All over the back of Cam Nelson. And our two onboard 360-degree cameramen having a terrific race of it here at Clay Pigeon. Up to top bend. Back on the power. Ducking down in the seat, trying to get as low behind the steering wheel as possible while still being able to control the car and see where you're going. Trying to make yourself as streamlined as possible. But Stevens is now 4.3 seconds clear, and up to second, would you believe it, has come Jack West. Started 13th on the grid, and here he is in second. So brilliant charge from Jack West. He really has driven out of his boots. So there is the 53 of Russell. He was in third. He's certainly not in third anymore. He's now fourth in front of Mentia and Buttle. So an excellent duel as Declan Russell trying to hold on to third position behind Jack West. And there's the move up the inside from Mentia. And Lizzie Mentia, who's got 2 or 3 karts in one go there. Bit of a shuffle of the deck again, but Lizzie Mentia still seeking more silverware in 2023. Excellent work. On board again with Green. Got 4 karts just in behind in a nice little quartet, dueling away as they come into the horseshoe. But there is your man in second. West has not only got through, but actually got a little bit clear. So as they come off top bend and across the line, Stevens leads. West in second. Mentia now in third place, looking for the podium. Then Russell, Whitcomb, Buttle, Carl, Turner, Quaker, Brown and Wise. Excellent racecraft. Through the chicane, still 8.5 on the clock. A long super final in Junior Rotax. Back on board with Nelson. Working his way to the hairpin. Trying to shake off Wooden. So Adam Wooden in the 49. But he's got problems of his own. Up on the inside. Trying to shake off the move into the hairpin. And there's more squabbling. Everybody trying to stay out of trouble. But I think it was Kasper Tomilewski that got hung out to dry there. As the 51 now loses a place. That is a very unfortunate moment for Goff as he loses out to Whitcomb. So the 199 of Harrison Whitcomb, who started all the way down in 26, now finds himself in 15th place. Great shuffles. And Freddie Ingram, by the way, who started dead last in 34th, is now in 17th. So that's very good work. Lewis Goff has come up from 20th to 16th. What about Joe McMahon in the treble 3? But he hasn't quite hit the top 24 yet. But Finley Buck has. The 313 of Finley Buck goes from 32nd to 20th. So plenty of charges through this pack. Back on board with Nelson. Down the straight. We are not done yet in this one. He has his eyes firmly set on Cheesy. So the 2 cameramen are dueling away out on circuit. We couldn't have scripted it any better if we tried. Working the way through the S's. Still a very solid battle, as there is the 51 of Lewis Goff trying to shake off his opponents, and he's got several of them. Side by side is that Whitcomb trying to get his through on the inside line. So Whitcomb still going wheel to wheel. I think he's got Thompson and Smith in the middle of that little gaggle of carts, and off on the grass. That's using a little bit more of the racetrack than necessary there for, I think that was the 69 of Freddie Ingram. Up to 17th from dead last. He has worked his way through the entirety of the first half of the field. Now he's got the second half of the field to deal with, and that's going to be much trickier. So Green and Nelson, our cameramen, are currently 12th and 13th behind the 95 of John Brown, and ahead of Wooden, Goff, Whitcomb and Freddie Ingram. Amazing racing. You don't know where to look, but Lizzie Mentier has done a terrific job, and she finds herself in third position now, ahead of Whitcomb, Buttle and Alex Carl. Can Lizzie Mentier hang on to this? Not for long! She had to give best there, not just to one, but to two. As first comes Whitcomb, then goes Buttle. So Joshua Whitcomb now finds himself in third position from 15th on the grid. What a mega charge forward from Josh Whitcomb. Fourth position for Buttle. Started second, dropped down the order, now finds his way back to fourth position. And the next target to stay in front for Lizzie Mentier is Alex Carl. She's got to be defensive, but also offensive. She's got to try and get back on terms with the two KR Sport drivers in front of her. So Mentier holding on to fifth position. You've got to be careful. You've got to look after tyres, but you've also got to have plenty of confidence when you dash the brake, when you hold the cart through the curbs. You've got to have plenty of conviction. And Alex Carl looked like he was sizing up the opportunity to go for Lizzie Mentier. We're back on board with Cam Nelson, though. And that is a big lunge forward from Lewis Goff. Very nicely handled as he takes on Wooden and gets the overtaking move done. So Lewis Goff, I'm at a 14th position then. They come up to top bend, and Stevens is 4.7 seconds clear of Jack West. He is basically in Somerset at this point. He is so far ahead of everybody else. Mentier drifting wide. Is that enough for Carl to get through? It is. So Alex Carl gets the fifth position in front of Mentier. And watch out, because you've got Turner, Declan Russell, Zane Quaker, and the 256 of Ollie Wise in the mix there as well. Wise having come up from 19th on the grid to 10th. Another brilliant drive. And Mentier struggling to hold off Zach Turner. Oh, that was close. Zach Turner wanting to get back into the top five, having started in P5. But Lizzie Mentier not about to give away any free overtakes in this one. So Zane Quaker was held up. So too was Zach Turner. And as a result of that, Turner dropping actually to 9th place behind Russell and Quaker. Great racing all the way through this field. Excellent stuff. Putting on a bit of a show. That's the 14, getting one, but two! Arthur Thacker leapfrogging his way forward through this field. Well, Ingram has actually lost out a couple of places. So his charge forward has suddenly hit a bit of a stumbling block. We go back on board with Cheesy. So Green working his way forward. The 114 and the 229 in the middle of the gaggle of carts. That's Jack Hobson dueling away with August Raber. And August Raber has worked his way into the 23rd position as well. So excellent work from the competitors as they continue to work forward. Now here is Cheesy. The BKC driver, Charles Green, diving his way into Hans Hairpin. He's got a bit of ground to make up on the kart in front, but crucially, he's not under supreme pressure from the driver behind. Look at the physicality. And just behind, we are with Cam Nelson. So that is the man we're trying to catch up in front. So Stevens is now 5 seconds clear of Jack West with 3 minutes remaining. And then it's Whitcomb and Buttle from Carl, Mentier, Declan Russell, Zach Turner, Zane Quaker and Ollie Wise. That's your top 10 for the moment. Sensational dueling yet again from Junior Rotax in UKC. They give as good as they've got everywhere we go. But at Clay Pigeon, where you've absolutely got to lean on the cart every single corner, there are no slow corners really on the Clay Pigeon circuit. It's the British karting equivalent of Monza really, because you're on the throttle for the majority of the lap. And you barely use the brake pedal. So Stevens, 5 seconds away from Jack West. This is absolute domination from Ollie Stevens. But everybody else still having a sensational run of it. So continuing the challenge forward. Stevens, West, Whitcomb, Battle, Cull, Mentier, Russell, Turner, Quaker and Wise. That is in commentary terms about the distance between them all. So Green, still trying to close up on that top 10. He's not quite there yet. He's got John Brown in front of him. But great dueling. as the competitors continue to make good racing of it. West has got about 0.4 of a second on Whitcomb and Buttle. So there's not much change between them at the moment. There is Zane Quaker holding on in front of Ollie Wise. Wise is looking pretty hungry here though. So Zane Quaker has got to be very circumspect about holding on to this, whilst also trying to challenge Zach Turner in front of him. Plenty of opportunities to let it slip. But these drivers are absolutely on the lock stops and they are leaning on the edge of every apex. So Stevens has actually kept it steady from Jack West. He doesn't really need to pull out any more time than that, does he? 4.8 seconds. That is domination in karting terms. So still, we duel away. West, Whitcomb and Buttle, but West is being caught. Josh Whitcomb, who has charged his way through, don't forget, from the 8th row of the grid, 15th on the start, now has a chance to get past his teammate Jack West and get in a second position. So it's going to be an inter-team squabble for second position. West, Whitcomb and Buttle. And with just over a minute on the clock, they're going to give us a bit of a grandstand showing. Jack West looking to his right there. He can't afford to be a little bit cautious at this stage because Whitcomb and Buttle are going to be on him like a ton of bricks now. Through the chicane. No second chances. He looks over his shoulder. He knows that Whitcomb is there. Whitcomb's going to get a bit of an opportunity. He's in a tricky position now, Josh Whitcomb, because he's going to be on offense and defense at the same time. So Buttle is trying to work his way forward, but Whitcomb is also trying to... Oh, that's been a problem for West! Now that looks to me, a wheel comes off the car. Oh my goodness! And he gets tagged in by Russell. Russell hits the wheel. Oh my goodness, red flag instantly. Red flag instantly. Well, that's a big shock to the end of the race. So it is declared with Stevens in front of Whitcomb and Buttle. Alex Carl will be fourth in front of Lizzie Mentier and Deacon Russell. Then Zach Turner, Ollie Wise, Zane Quaker and John Brown. And after all of that, with dropped scores applied, Jack Hobson is tied on points with Ollie Stevens heading to Rowrah, with Freddie Ingram in third from Mentier and Russell and Leslie. It is going to be a proper showdown at Rowrah.
So Josh, talk us through that race. Second place, it was an eventful one, but you weren't going to catch Ollie Stevens. He was some way down the road.
Yeah, he just got a mega start. I started quite far back. I knew I just couldn't catch him, but I'm happy second or third. That's probably the best result I've ever had here. So.
And another good result for the team as well. Chaos Sport doing well once again.
Yeah, they're doing really well. They just got set up on point, and all of our drivers doing really well. So.
Who's been looking after this weekend? Who would you like to thank?
I want to thank Kieran, Chaos Sport, Care Engines, and all my family for supporting me.
So Ollie, talk me through that race. You got yourself out in front. Behind you, everyone was getting backed up, so you just made the most of it, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. As soon as we went through the first corner, I was in the lead, and I just pulled a gap away from that.
Did you know what was going on behind you? It seems like, literally the first 3 laps, you seemed to just stretch. I don't know what was happening really, but, were you aware of it?
A little bit. I could see it from the other side of the track. But yeah, I was just driving as quick as I could to get away.
Archie, talk me through the race. Third place on the day. Another great result for Chaos Sport as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Got a bit shafted at the beginning, just kept falling back. But got in a groove, kept putting consistent laps in, pulled away with my teammates, and it was a shame really for Jack with the red flag, but I think because there was a red flag, I'm going to get put back to fourth, unfortunately. But as long as he's okay, that's the main thing.
Well, that's it for round 5 of the Pass Me Fast Ultimate Karting Championship here from Clay Pigeon Raceway in Dorchester. We have finished under sunny skies after rainy heats and qualifying. The Super Finals didn't disappoint under clear skies. Huge congratulations then to our 3 race winners in this programme, Ryan White, Jacob Ashcroft and Ollie Stevens. The championships are all still very much alive as we head to round 6 in Cumbria. Rowrah is where we'll be going, and we would love it if you could join us there. Until then though, from all of us here in the Southwest, see ya.